Yes, we're live and it's module 3. Who is here? Who can see us? Who can hear us? We're live and our facilitator is ready. I don't think you're ready for this class. Are you? Are you guys ready for this class? A lot of people reached out to me yesterday to say, Coach, I don't know what happened to me yesterday. I don't understand. In fact, somebody said to me, Coach Olitayo, somebody sent me a chat and said, Coach, I can now see that you're very nice. I used to think that you used to drag people when you're teaching, but I was dragged. Ah, I was
Oh,
dragged. I was dragged and put on the floor. Who else felt dragged yesterday?
sorry,
Who
and
else?
frog and their
Who
feathers removed.
else? Yes, feathers removed. You know, when you're coming for inner circle programs, we usually say, don't come with your tolo tolo peacock body. If not, you will be naked at the end of the day. You know, but like we say, we are naked, but we are not ashamed. And that's the beautiful thing about the TRP Academy. Thank you again, Coach Emitayo, for being here. We're so
Yes.
grateful. That class yesterday was awesome. Many of us went home thinking about our lives. All right. And you know, all our okayness became not okay. You know, I always say, well, we are turned out okay. You know, who told us we are okay? I don't even know who told us in the first place that we
I
are
don't know.
okay.
I don't know.
All righty. I said I cried so much watching you replay.
Oh,
It's
I hope then you now took a decision to then
exactly,
make a change, So
exactly.
yeah, it was nice to cry, but let's now take the light steps.
Alrighty, so we're going to be having the third module, and the third module is on emotional intelligence, at the core. So that's what we're going to be learning today. I am very sure that we're ready. The journey to self-understanding through the 5 cores of emotional intelligence. That's where we are today. Pen, paper ready. Everybody ready. All of us are learning. My husband is here. I'm here. My best friends are here. My closest friends are here, my siblings. If you're not learning, you're not calling your friends and family, you're on your own. So that when I will be on the south of France, like my friend so told me yesterday, nobody's going to be dragging me down now enjoying my life. So when I'm on this in the south of France 10 years later, please don't envy my pocket because I will pour. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm going to leave the stream now. You're welcome to the
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. Yep. Apologies that you cannot see that slide. Wow. Let's move to the next one. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Eitayo. Let me speak as if you have never met me before. Let's imagine that yesterday did not happen, but it did. Oh, it did. Oh yeah, you can see my bracelets. Yes, yesterday happened. We challenged culture. We said we can build culture in our own homes. We said we'll take responsibility for the transformation that needs to happen for us. We said let's do. Let us do. So did you take the test? And I saw some of the feedback. Coach Wendy shared some of the feedback. People took the test and it was no, 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 no. And then it was yes, yes, yes for the children. Some people it was yes, yes, yes. And then it was no, no, no for the children. Awesome. Awesome. We're getting ready to truly, truly become emotionally intelligent parents. And there was someone who sent feedback about attending the course last year, and I don't remember now when did I teach last year? I'm not sure. But the course runs every year. Things change every year. For me, and you will see when I start teaching, I have becoming. I've become a becomer in emotional intelligence. You become spiritual intelligence, you continue to transform, you continue to work on it until we all get to that awesome place. And by that time, we'll go to the other side. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yay. We're here again. We're here again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope that this experience will be great for you. So let us start. Module 3. Oh. The actual journey. Now, wow. I thought we started 2 days ago. The journey. That's what I'm talking about. So let's go. So I'm going to first of all introduce you to emotional intelligence, the concept, the way I see it, the way the world sees it, and a little bit about Daniel Goleman. And then we will just continue from there. And it's going to be interesting, I assure you. So first of all, what is EQ? EQ, EI, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. Now, parents are stuck at IQ. I count my child as the smartest, 90%. My child does not score below 80. Wow, 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 wow. We ignore for ourselves and the children emotional intelligence, adaptability intelligence, social intelligence, and let me add spiritual intelligence. So let's talk a little bit about them. Intelligence, IQ, as we well know, intelligence, knowledge, facts, trivia, the capacity for you, vocabulary, you can read, you can write, you're smart, you can do business, can calculate millions, you are smart. Emotional intelligence, capability to manage your own hormones, your own emotions, understand them, become, and also manage your relationships with others. Adaptability quotient, the ability to adapt and thrive in any environment when there is change. So, okay, we'll get back there. Social quotient, your ability to build networks of friends and to maintain them over a long period of time. Have you already realized that your children are probably growing lopsided even now? Many children have zero social skills because we do not take them out. And when we do take them out, we don't show them decorum. There's no reason why you will not teach your children this is how to behave at the restaurant, this is how to behave at the airport. Learning doesn't stop. There's no reason why you will not teach your children that, yes, sometimes you can drink garri and it's okay. We drink it with pride and honor. No reason why you can't teach your children to look out for their neighbors. There's no reason whatsoever. So if we concentrate on IQ the way that we're doing, what school is your child attending? What did your child score in mathematics? In fact, my child always comes first in maths. Those kind of conversations. Pardon me, parents, I'm on your case this morning very early. As long as you stay there, the likelihood that you, the parent, or the children will live balanced lives is low. And I'll tell you why. They say, research has proven that you need not only emotional quotient, not only your intelligence quotient, but your emotional quotient to succeed. You don't only need to know the how that things work, you need to know the how that they work for you and how it works for someone else. You need to understand people. You need to get it. You need to understand what they're going through. You need to have empathy. It is key to self-fulfillment. I hear so many people say, I'm self-made. It's a phrase that we use a lot. I live in Nigeria. We use that phrase often. I'm a self-made. Nobody's actually self-made. Let me break that table first this morning. No man is an island. Somebody, somewhere. Your teacher, your maths teacher in primary 2, took a liking and decided to make you come to the board and write. Started teaching you how to present. My class teacher in primary 2, Miss Ashon, is the reason why I am here today. She recognized, even at that age, I must have been 7, 8? She recognized that I had oratory skills, and she used to make me come and read poetry in class. I fell in love with poetry. I write poems even now. So emotional intelligence is the key to self-fulfillment. Let me give you a very good example that will, trigger so that you can bring it home. I don't do theory. Let's bring it home. Many of the people who were the top performers in your class, in secondary school, in primary school, many of them are nowhere to be found today in the scheme of things, in terms of making a difference, in terms of being successful. Look around you. Ask yourself, where are the people? Of course, a few of them, did continue, but I'm saying many of them didn't. And many people who were seemingly, nobody. I don't understand. I beg. She don't know book, always coming last, are very successful today. One of the greatest requirements for stability is emotional intelligence. That's it. You want to be stable, you want to be good, emotional intelligence. That's the way to be good. That's the way to be stable. You're going to give me 1 minute. I'll be back in a minute.
One of the ways that you can be stable in life is emotional intelligence. Are you back now?
Yes, I am. I just needed to ask for the box of tissue. Sorry. So thank you. Thank you for taking over from me. So one of the greatest requirements for stability, thank you, is emotional intelligence. I think it's the greatest requirement for stability. For stability, stability, sanity, resilience, not fakeness, not smile outside and come back inside and cry, not living a false life. That's not what we're talking about today. I'm coming. Small. Now, Daniel Goleman is one of the greatest researchers. It was with him that I first started learning EI. And he defines emotional intelligence by 5 core areas: empathy, social skills, self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. As I have worked and as I have applied emotional intelligence, taught emotional intelligence, delivered therapy with emotional intelligence, I have modified this a little. This is how Eitayo Iyotin employs the concept of EI. I say that there are 4 distinct components, and that motivation and empathy sit under 2 of those components. I will share why. Self-awareness, social awareness. One is about you, one is about others. Self-management, relationship management. One is about you, one is about others. Motivation is about you. It is self-management. Empathy is about others. It's about you as well. Some of us are very mean to ourselves, but it's also about others. So the way I am going to teach emotional intelligence today, my apologies, TIP Academy, is using this concept of 4 distinct components and then breaking them down so that you can understand. And I must start by speaking about motivation and empathy. You see, so this morning, I'll give you a practical example, now. So there hasn't been power. So I didn't sleep with the AC on, and I like my cool, climate. I thrive in it. So I thought that I didn't sleep that well. And when it was time to get up and walk this morning, I looked at the time, I looked at what I had brought out to wear, looked at my trainers, and I don't really want to go. I didn't sleep well. In fact, I think I have a slight, like a headache coming up. Then I thought to myself, but your goal is to do a certain number of steps today. If you don't get your walk in, which gives you like the first burst of steps, you are definitely not going to even meet half of your target of steps for the day. And if you don't meet your target of steps for today, it means that your target of steps for the week will not be complete. You'll be owing at the end of by the time, before I got to week, I was already putting my socks and putting my trainers on so that I could get on the road. And as soon as I went out the gate, I was smiling, like I was listening to music, and I felt so good. Walking can be so invigorating. I felt so good. But you see, the motivation needed to be a logic that I have built. Don't ever expect that extrinsic, we call it intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Don't expect that extrinsic motivation is the reason why you become a better parent, because Coach Wendy said, Coach Eitayo taught us, or whoever. Are you motivated to become emotionally intelligent? Are you motivated, or do you want to hide behind, I'm very emotional? The way I spell emotional when I speak with my friends, like EMOSHUNAL, emotional, because that is how we say it. I'm an emotional person. we're not going to go that way today, but I believe that, and I'm going to ask TIP to actually do another small module where we can actually talk about the hormones and what happens in the brain so you can understand. You see, ignorance is death. If you don't understand these things, you'll be telling yourself, you know, I'm emotional, I cry easily, and all these
We
things.
actually
And
started from one, yes, we did.
oh, okay,
Mhm.
awesome. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you. All right, awesome, excellent. So then let me talk a little bit about empathy. So motivation must be intrinsic. You have to find it. You have to find it. You have to find your motive. What is your reason? What is your raison d'être? Why are you here? What is it that is your purpose? When you wake up and you know, when you get up, what's your purpose? What is even your purpose for parenting? So I run the Single Parents Transformation Academy, and it's one of the first modules that we do. And I ask, why are you a parent? Why are you a parent? And most people can't understand. I got married, then I became a parent. There was no intentionality behind parenting. Why do you have 3? Why do you have 4 children? Why do you have 6? You know, there's no intention. Why have you stopped? Continue. No intentionality, because your motivation is external. People have said that you should try and have girl and boy, and you have 3 girls. You say no, you want to try and have boy. Meanwhile, there's no universe where you use your hand to take your egg, you look for the XY, or depending on what you're looking for, of the sperms that your husband has dropped, then you mix them in your hand and then you drop. You can't. IVF can help you do that. But even at that, they are throwing away babies in order to get you that gender that you so desire extrinsically. Technically, I'm the only girl. You heard yesterday. You know, my parents have boys. Till now, my brothers, who are all adults, will still defer to me. What do you think? When they want to take a decision concerning my parents, they all run their homes, they're adults, but they're still like, so what do you think? Talk to Tayo. Yet people are struggling not to have it. They have 3 daughters. They're suddenly now I'm hearing that people are saying, if you don't have a daughter, you will suffer in old age. I don't know. So it is because of old age that you're having the children. How extrinsic can that be? Because of reward. You think that you're having children so that the children can take care of you. That is so lame. I'm sorry. That's the reason why you're having children. And that's the reason you're having more. That's the reason you're asking them to study certain courses. Your motivation. Let's question motivation today. What is your motivation? What's your intention? What's your goal? Where are you going? Empathy. 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, it will be 4 years this year, I broke my ankle. And, you know, after breaking my ankle, I had to have surgery, had to have a big metal plate, which is still there, by the way, metal plate, you know, in my ankle. And through the process, you know, one day I was angry. I was in a wheelchair, and I remember I had gone to, you will do so many x-rays when you break your bones, because they're looking at the healing and checking that, you know, it's going well. And so it was time for one of those x-rays, and we had gone to the x-ray place, the lab, and then my husband came, you know, got a wheelchair and then put me inside the wheelchair. And as he was pushing the wheelchair into, of course I could walk with crutches, it was only one leg, but as he was pushing the wheelchair so we could go in, you know, the first person passed and said, oh, sorry, oh. The second person, oh, sorry, oh. Then one anger just welled up inside me. By the time we entered and the security guard said, sorry, madam, I just turned. There's nothing wrong with me. The way that I responded, I knew that I had taken their sorry, I had mixed it with my own issues in my head, and my response to the poor guy was a response that I should have dealt with since. And at that point, I heard it so clearly that this process should teach you compassion and empathy. Before then, I thought I was a very empathetic person. Apparently, I wasn't. I was very tough in a very cold way. See, get your act together, get it done. I didn't appreciate people's journeys. Those 16 weeks when I couldn't drive, I couldn't walk, I couldn't take stairs, those 16 weeks, 16 to 20 weeks, when I was in crutches, must have been the toughest weeks of my life. But I went away from that experience with empathy, the ability to put yourself in other people's shoes and don't just talk. How can she? How can he? Do not, because you have not walked their journey, and so you do not know. You don't understand. And empathy, I think for me, not pity, not pity, empathy. It is pity that makes people go to an orphanage and film the children there because they want to show us that they have gone to deliver stuff to them. I've never been able to make sense of it. I have no idea why people do. I don't know. And then most of the time they buy Indomie that is filled with MSG. The children are already not eating well enough. You now think that Indomie is the best thing that you can provide for those children who don't have parents. Okay, I'll stop there. That's not empathy. Empathy is going there and asking, what is your need in this place? What is your need? I remember many years ago we were during COVID, yes, we were going around in the office and supporting orphanages, and then we went to this special home, and I was shocked to find that one of their greatest needs were adult pampers, adult diapers. You know, you don't think about it, right? They have so many children suffering from various mental challenges who cannot control their toileting. So if we just went there now and we just bought cartons of Indomie and bags of rice and all those kind of things, because we think that that is empathy, is understanding what the need is and being able to deal with the need. So there are two targets of emotional intelligence, and pardon me, I don't know why it's showing like it was showing good when I did it. Two targets of emotional intelligence, therefore, myself and others. Sorry, yeah. Hey, they say it's too early to be hot. Sorry, I wasn't even reading. I'm not looking at your comments. So die hard. I know they look. We're going on this journey. So there's self-awareness and self-management. Straight bullet don't hitting them. And then relationship management and empathy. So if you look at it critically, emotional intelligence has two targets: self-awareness and self-management, myself, and then relationship management, others. Yeah, okay, we've talked enough about it. So let's break it down, a little bit more. So self-awareness. So first of all, you need to identify. My sister, you just say, every time I see that thing, I'm angry. Every time I hear that name, I'm angry. Every time, what is it? What exactly is it? My brother, I do not go to that person's house, and none of my children can go to that person's house. What is your anger? Identify motivators. We talked about that at the beginning. The emotions: anger, sadness, pity. What is the emotion? And what triggered the emotion? Do you know how many people are triggered because of trauma? There was something, let me give you a classic example. Your mom or somebody's mom, not yours, a person's mother, was making stew, a particular kind of stew. One day, when the father beats the mother, or the mother beat the father, there was violence. Violence both ways. It's not gender specific. That child, every time that child smells, the way the brain stores senses is with memory. The way the brain stores memory is with senses. Every single time that child smelled that particular stew with that particular mix, maybe it was palm oil stew, the child's amygdala tells the child instinctively fear of flight. And so the child has a fear of flight response. Suddenly the child says, I don't eat palm oil stew. I don't like it. Even if I just smell it, I hate it. In therapy, we go and dig. What is that hatred? What is it? What are the things that are triggering those emotions? Somebody tell me, I just sit down. And when I just think about my life, I'm sad. Then I ask them, you are alive? Yes. Can you see? You can hear? You can talk? You can walk? You can use your hands? You can taste? By the time I'm done, they say, Coach, what's your point? I say, you say, just thinking about your life. And I'm just recounting your life for you. Where there's life, there's hope. Do you understand that? Do you get it? Many times, because we are not able to identify what our motivators are, what our emotions are, what triggered those emotions in different situations, we just say, I'm just angry. You all wake up and you're just angry. Like how I woke up this morning grumpy. I woke up grumpy. I'm just like, I don't like, it's not wrong now. Wow. The second thing you need to do is accept. Accept yourself for who you are. I'm not saying accept as they, oh, this is who I am. I'm not going to change. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about accepting yourself and saying, there you go. iPhone ringtone reminds me of bullying. Thank you for sharing that. It's a trigger. It's a trigger. So you need to deal with the iPhone. You need to change your iPhone ringtone to that iPhone ringtone. Deal with it. You need to confront it. Confront it will help. Don't mind me. It's not magic. You need to accept yourself for who you are. Stop lying. And we talked about this a lot yesterday. Stop telling yourself, oh, somebody else is sharing. This is why I don't eat ekuru. I was about to taste it for the first time when the news of my mom's death came. So that food is one of, thank you. Thank you for, oh, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. So accept yourself for who you are so you can work towards who you want to be. My people, many times we tell ourselves, well, this is just who I am. We're not saying it from a place of transformation. We're saying it from a place of complacency and giving up. Deal with it. Even when people have told you here and there, so many people have given you feedback about something, you still feel that it's their problem. You know, it's like the man who has married 3 wives. He has been divorced 3 times. He still thinks the women are the problem. 3 different women. You've been divorced 3 times. Go to therapy, brother. Just go first. Go and submit yourself for some time. Something is wrong, and it's not those women. Or you've been to 3 different offices. You worked here 6 months. You worked here 9 months. You say no. It's because in every office you can find a reason, but the real reason is you. Strive to become better daily. Strive to become better every day. So when you have identified your triggers, you understand the roots. And I like that people are sharing so many of the, I'm happy that we are, making, oh, thank you, King David. Thank you for sharing that. I disliked my colleague whose birthday is the same day my dad died. And then he went ahead. I forced myself to love her and always celebrate her birthday because may he so rest in peace. But this is what happens. We're not conscious. We don't strive. And then you need to understand your own personal strengths and then understand your weaknesses so that you can deal with them. You need to understand. Don't excuse it. Something is a weakness. Deal with it. Don't excuse it. There is no excuse for not being able to properly articulate what should be. So self-awareness is key. Self-management. Learn to manage your emotions and behaviors. You know, when people tell me, I didn't think anything, it just automatically came, I smile. You did think something, you just didn't think it consciously. You need to dig into the subconscious and ask yourself, what is at the root of this emotion? What is at the root? Excess emotion. What's at the root of it? And you need to manage it. You have to manage it. In fact, the behaviors are even more critical than the emotions. So you see, when you come back from work, and this is an example I give to parents, people are parenting alone all the time. Your children have missed their parents for the whole day. Fathers, I'm coming for you. You come into the house, they greet you, you just grunt. You go into the room, you put on the TV in the room. TV's in the room, eh? You put on the TV and you don't come out again until they come and tell you that food is ready. You come, you sit at the table, you have no conversation with your children, no engagement. It's like they do not exist. You're using your children to manage your emotions that came from work. Let me share what I used to do. I used to work, I think I've always worked in high pressure, roles. I would get home and I'll tell the driver to leave the AC on and just, stay for a bit. And I'll just sit in the car and breathe. I would have been listening to my nice music on my way, but before I go in, I breathe because I know that those boys, as I come in, they're going to come at me. When they do, I don't want to tell them, leave me, I beg, I have a headache. They are the reason why you have a headache. You know how sometimes parents even tell their children that I'm working because of you. No, you're working because you are a parent and you decided to be a parent, being that you had the child, and so you now have a responsibility to that child. Has nothing to do with the child. So please, you're not working because of the children. No. I know we joke about it, but you're not working because of you're working because of yourself. Don't work now. You still have to provide food for the children. So you're working for yourself. Work for yourself. Don't be telling them it's because of you I do all this trouble. Stop saying that. That's emotional death. And yes, I have the windows open because I have the fan on. So Wendy, please take over for 1 minute. Let me just close the windows. There's construction going on.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Coach Itayo. All right, and I like the point that she was just making just before she ended, and I'm sure if you've listened to me, I've said that over and again. All these, do you know how much I'm paying for you for school fees? Do you know how much I work hard? And then you kill. I said on the first module, right, when we were talking about the hormones, that the energy of the father is actually the energy the home takes. Most of us do not know it. We think it's about the mothers. No, the energy of the father is the energy the whole home takes. And I was reading the scripture and I was sharing with someone just recently, and where he said, I would meet the sins of the fathers to the fourth and the fifth generation. That's what the Bible says. And it didn't say the sins of the mothers. Boom, I've broken the table before Coach Ehitayo is here. and I leave you to it, ma.
But Wendy, we can break it. So break it. We need the breaking. We need the breaking. Fathers, we need the breaking. Don't react emotionally to changing circumstances. We say it, we say it. Parents, we know how to quote all these things. The only thing that change is the only constant in life. You must adapt to change. We say it to our children when we want them to eat strange things. We say it to them when we want them to go to one uncle's house when they don't really want to go. But we don't say it to ourselves. So we tend to react emotionally. We tend to react emotionally to changing circumstances. And that is a big, big problem. Self-management does not react emotionally to changing circumstances. Self-management sits down and says, what do I need to do? How am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Proactive always. Then you have to develop mental resilience by study and mindfulness. I'm going to talk a little bit about mindfulness before we get to the end. Mental resilience is your capacity to cope. We have so many cases of depression right now in Nigeria. We've never had so many. And most of it is because we have allowed the things happening on the outside to affect us. We have refused to develop mental resilience. We have refused to have plans. I was telling someone at the beginning of the year, I said, well, this is one of the years where you have to have a spending plan. You have a plan. If you didn't have it before, you have to have a plan for spending now. And she looked at me and said, hey, beginning of the year. Beginning of the year is exciting. It's time. People are generally broke. Things will get better. And just about a week ago, she reached out to me and said, that thing you were saying at the beginning of the year, did you see something? I said, no. It's just a year that you need to be resilient. So develop resilience. What happened to my slide? We'll get back to it. Develop resilience. Make sure that you have told yourself that, okay, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, awesome. It's probably me. Develop mental resilience. Tell yourself, I'm going to be mentally resilient. I'm going to stop giving myself excuses for not doing the right thing. I'm going to learn. Like I said yesterday, ignorance is death. Don't be ignorant. Go and get knowledge. Balance your priorities and commitments. Hey, parents, Your children have not seen you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday morning, you are going for 3 weddings. Only you one, or only you two, depending on if the two of you are in the same boat. Why? Waiting loss. Really? Balance priorities and commitments. What are your priorities? Most of my friends know that to get me to attend a function, I know it's easier now because everybody's out of the house, but to get me to attend a function, I would have thought about my week. I'd have thought about whether I need I need empathy to self, and should just sleep and read a book on Saturday morning and switch off my phone. Balance your priorities. Don't say yes to everything. Self-management does not say yes to everything. Self-management says no. The capacity to say no to everybody and anybody. No. Learn to say no is a course. Learn to say no. Implement strategies for your growth. It's so critical that we implement strategies for growth. Some of us don't have strategies. We just jump. They said everybody is doing something. You just go and do it. Even when it comes to business. They say, oh, when they are selling something, okay. Some people are doing courses. They are teaching parenting. You are not called though. You just say, yes, I'm going to build a parenting academy. I want to be like Coach Wendy, and then you start. No content. Implement your growth strategy. What's your strategy for growth? Somebody reached out to me yesterday and said she attended this. A friend of mine, an old friend, said she attended this and that she's following Coach Wendy because she's also mentoring some parents, and I was so excited. It's so exciting to see people who are sitting to be mentored so that they can mentor, and not just say, well, I know everything I need to know. That business, there are people that have been doing it for 30 years. You just come, you jump in, oh, thank you, Jackpa. Everybody's Jackpa, and then they're asking those of us here to send them money. They won't even tell you when they're Jackpa, It's when they now need money. That's when you will hear that they're actually, no. I mean, I've been in Canada for the last 6 months. They're looking for rent. All right. Social awareness. Now, remember what we said. Let's go back. There's self-awareness and self-management. There's relationship management and empathy. So self-awareness, self-management, social awareness. Now, many of us, even with our spouses and our family, we don't recognize the emotional cues in others. Now, it's easier for psychologists to say because we learn gestures. It's a course that you have to take. So we learn it. So we understand, the eye, the lips, it's different gestures anyway. And so they actually train you to know the difference between shy and guilt and shame and coy and all those nuances. Do you recognize emotional cues in others? In yourself, do you recognize emotional cues when your heart starts to beat faster? Do you stop and ask yourself, what happened? Why am I palpitating? Is there fear? What am I afraid of? Why am I afraid of it? Recognizing emotional cues in yourself makes you better recognize emotional cues in others. If you can't recognize emotional cues, you cannot actually be socially aware. I remember many years ago, we lived in Kano, and there was this case of a girl that had been beaten in the Kano market. She went to a market in Kano in short. I don't understand. Cultural awareness is recognizing emotional cues in others. It's like a slap in the face when you decide that, this is my own culture, the culture in your house. You want to bring it to my house, you want to bring it to my city, you want to bring it to my state, you want to bring it, then we'll give you our reaction to it. Not that I'm saying that what they did was correct. Please don't misquote me. Jungle justice is always wrong. But you see, having social awareness can save you from jungle justice, can save you from many damaging things. One woman who was very dressed went to a filling station I went to do you know who I am? And so the poor host used petrol to damage what she was wearing. And it was one of those laces that had plastics. You know what fuel does to plastics? That was the end of the lace. I don't know how much it was, but how much is the filling station attendant salary? So recognize emotional cues. Emotional cues include anger. So for now, people are angry. I live in Nigeria. People are angry in Nigeria. A lot is going on. Don't go and be arguing with people on the road. You will be killed. And they're not even realizing that you will be killed. That is death. Somebody just goes and hits somebody's head. And that's it. Empathize with others. I've spoken a little bit about empathy. Try and put yourself in their shoes. Many times, what they're doing, what they're going through, they may not have thought about it. They may not have planned it. But they're just stuck in a cycle that they cannot come out of. Find help for them. Some of you can afford to pay for therapy for your friends. You won't. Try it now. Instead of paying for spa, pay for therapy. They just say, I've paid. You just need to show up as your gift to them. Today's Valentine's Day. What gifts have you given to people? Understand the dynamics of power and influence in every group that you are in, starting from family. Influence and power are two critical components of social awareness. It's the reason why some employees cannot succeed. They can't do well. They can't do well because they don't understand the dynamics of power and influence in the office. Office politics, fundamental part of life. Social awareness, recognizing it. Not that you should play in it, but you should recognize it and understand it. So when you want, so one of the things we do is change management for organizations. You will look for change champions. Who are they? What makes them change champions? They believe in what you are saying. They believe in what you are trying to do. So they're change champions. They will drive it among others who do not necessarily believe yet. So understand the dynamics of power and influence in a group. Become aware of your personal surroundings, your audience, and your environment. So I generally would teach in the Regenerate Bible Study more. And so every time I'm teaching, all my examples and everybody that I'm, everything I'm talking about will be probably from the Bible. I am now teaching the Intentional Parents Academy. It is a lack of social awareness for me to come here and still be giving only Bible examples. There are people who are Ifa worshippers, there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are Buddhists, there's everybody here. The academy does not ask that you prove that you are a certain religion before you come in. And so becoming aware of your audience, of your environment, very critical. Some people will come down, they're very well dressed. They're passing in a crazy place, a very, low income area. They come down because they want to go walk to buy boli. That is lack of social awareness. You need to learn to adjust to change. Learn to adjust to change. Change, yes, it is constant, but do you accept that it is constant? Because the way we fight change, the way we don't want to change, the way we want things to be, the way we have always understood them, and if anything just shifts a little, we are imbalanced. We have an emotional response to it. You need to learn to adjust to change. Then you need to use your influence for meaningful social impact, positive impact. Don't only do it for the money. Money is good. It's great. Money is a defense. But money isn't everything. Have you started to use your influence? I remember, during one of the elections, I can't remember which one, where we did like a survey. Excuse me. We did like a survey, and we were just talking to our friends and asking those for whom you are an influencer. And I'm not talking social media influencer now. I'm talking the real kind of influencer. You pay their children's fees, you pay their rent, you sponsor them in the village, you manage their farm. Did you speak to them about voting, about the political parties, about the candidates, about your choice? Did you speak to them? Do you know who they are? Do you engage with them? Do you talk to them about family planning? Do you talk? Use your influence. It's social awareness everywhere you go. It's interesting that even the people who come to work in my house become like mentees. I was yesterday night, the electrician reached out to me and we had a long conversation. I had to say, oh, it's late, I had to sleep. And he was talking about what he's planning to do, how he's going to do. They're just workers. They come into the house to do what they need to do. But I have a sorry. I have a task. My task is to be an influencer for good, positive impact. So when they come, I talk to them about money. I talk to them about family. I ask about their lives. I talk to them about health. They come, they're spraying stuff, they're not wearing masks. I go in, I get masks. I teach them about their lungs. What's going to happen if you do this for 20 years? I teach them. This is using your influence for meaningful impact. Some of you don't even talk to them. They greet you. Yeah. Fix that light or fix it now. If you don't fix that light now, every time you come, you know, your mouth is caustic. They can't learn from you. Your driver that can turn your car and kill you and himself, you will be treating him anyhow. You have not thought about his rest. You will not let him close when you are sitting inside AC all day. You stay till 10 p.m. and tell yourself that, well, there is traffic and I don't want to ride in traffic, forgetting that there's somebody who has been sitting downstairs or wherever he's sitting and waiting for you all day. Then you drive home, you get to your own house at 11 p.m. You don't ask him, where is the closest bus stop to yours? You do not ask him. Then the next morning, he's in front of your house at 4:30, and while he's driving, all you can do is, are you not seeing? What kind of driving is that? This man has not slept. He hasn't slept. No thinking of using your influence for meaningful, positive impacts. Do you know, I just relocated cities, and the kind of help that I have had, I don't know if you can actually, physically put that kind of help together. But for each one, I'm still going to use my influence for meaningful, positive impact. This is the crux of social awareness. Yes, and I'm getting riled by the way that the application has modified my slides. This is emotional awareness. And so I'm telling myself, it's okay. They can see it. They can see what I'm writing. And I'm sure they understand that. Can you see what I'm doing? I am trying to make sure that I am not distracted by how the slides are appearing. I'm making sure that I manage my emotions in this room. If I start to look at how the slides are, the tendency for my brain to be itching to go somewhere, go and edit it, maybe make it smaller so that I can fit. So when it comes here, it's not modified. I take myself outside of goals. This is extrinsic motivation. Right now, I'm motivated to teach you emotional intelligence. Let's use that. So let's talk about relationship management. So now we're talking about others, social awareness and relationship management. So, hey, develop your sphere of influence and use it well. Now I'm going to talk to the women a little. They take pride in me. I don't have any friends. Something is wrong with you. Something is desperately wrong with you. No any friend. Nobody that you can call on speed dial. Nobody that would leave everything, drop everything, and stand up because of you. None. You can't find any. While I do, there's something wrong with you. You have to deal with it. Fathers, I think they manage this a little bit better. Men, even though they still kind of fake it till you make it. Many men's groups, and I didn't know this until very recently, many men's groups have a lot of issues. There's a lot of falseness in those groups. Men do things, for the group. I learned that very recently, but yes. You need to develop your sphere of influence. You need to use it well. You need to communicate effectively. What are you trying to say? Say it exactly. Learn it. You don't have to say it in English. Say it in whatever language. Find somebody to come and interpret for you. But there's no excuse for not communicating effectively. When somebody asks you what is wrong with you and you say nothing, Biko, from today, we will take it that nothing is wrong. Yes, spouses, nothing is wrong. Siblings, nothing is wrong. Because if you say nothing, you're an adult and you expect that you are saying nothing so that we can now say, oh, tell me now, you're so spoiled. Sorry, something is wrong with you. And our lives, the rest of us in the world, our lives don't revolve around you. So if something is wrong, sit down like an adult that is emotionally intelligent, articulate it to yourself. Maybe you want to kind of articulate it on paper. You know, I was sharing yesterday how I write a lot, and then this morning one of my sisters came in to help me, get the bookshelf up, and then we were just arranging the notebooks, and then she said, she kept, there's writing in all. I write. Sometimes I write to manage my thought. I write it down. This is how I'm thinking. This is what led to the thinking. This is the right way I can think. Will I be able to share this with Ruth, Shayo, my inner circle people? Can they, okay, sorry, I said inner circle. They are my own inner circle people. Can they, what would they say? What it would be their opinion? Okay, if this is not their opinion, then why is this my opinion? Let's question it. And then until I get to the bottom of it. And sometimes you see, I'm just going through, I'm looking for a particular thing, and I remember the day, so I have the notebooks by time and by what they cover, what I write in them. And then I go and I read it, and because I will see my journey. Start journaling so that you see your journey. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. Develop positive relationships. I don't understand how you say somebody is your friend, but you are cagey around them. Please now dump them. That means they're not your friends. With friends, if you say somebody is a friend, not just an acquaintance, you have to be able to be naked. As in, I'm not talking physical naked. You have to be able to be bare. Let me use a better word. You have to be bare. And like I said yesterday, please, I hope there are no children here. I'm talking to parents. You have to be able to be bare before them to say, look, I'm very angry. You have to be able to say, I am angry. I'm angry, and this is why I am angry. I'm not saying don't be angry. We're saying when you are, start to put. And let me tell you, I see people writing, I need friends. I need friends. I tell you the truth. You can consciously seek friends, and you should. The reason is because many of us became friends with people because of circumstance. Same school, same compound, same office, same whatever. We were thrown together. And so we've adapted. A better way is for each one of us to consciously choose that these are the qualities I'm looking for in a friend, and then start to explore to find those qualities and then befriend those people intentionally and create a friendship. We always do as if friendship is one magical thing, it's one strange thing, and it is not. It's actually very okay. So develop positive relationships, evaluate your friendships. That's the next thing. Oh yeah, you are friends with this person, you've known them all their lives. Maybe your parents were friends, but do you have the same value systems now? Are your value systems the same now? Are you still thinking along the same lines now? Can you still say that they are your friends? Because evaluate your friendships. Find mentors. There's no reason to repeat the mistakes that people have been repeating for the last 50 years and they've learned lessons. Why? You just want to suffer. Find mentors, people who have gone on the path that you are going on in different areas. Find many mentors. I have many. I submit myself to them. I have mentors that don't know that they're mentoring me. Some of them I pay for their mentoring, like Ibukun Awoshika. I pay, I attend. I've met her only once one-on-one at the airport. And when I said, I pay, I attend your mentoring, we sat down and we had a sweet conversation. In minutes, this woman dropped nuggets like gold. In minutes, just airport. They're just sitting, waiting to board a flight. And then when she stood up and I said, no, I'd like to carry her bag, she said, no, she's fine. And she dragged her bag by her. I was like, hey, find mentors. And then when you find mentors, they start to mentor others as well. Start to mentor others. Well, don't just be living this life as if how you live. You say, oh, I have so many things. I'm thinking, what will we eat? What will we wear? Do you know that life is short? So you will not. That's how you will not mentor anybody. All the lessons you've learned in this life, you're going to die with them and take them away. You will not teach anybody. You not pass it on to anybody. You're just not mentoring anybody. Sister, brother, please start mentoring somebody. And then build trust and credibility through integrity. Hey, integrity is missing in the world, in the entire world. People lie through their teeth and they don't see anything wrong with it. Something is wrong. Let me break integrity in a very let me attack something that we do that I find that it's an indication of a lack of integrity. You pick something, you go to the market, you want to buy, let's say, fish, and the fish is, I don't know, 2,000 naira. You price the fish, the woman says, okay, pay 1,500 naira. You now look at the fish. You say, this, you've been haggling with this woman for a while. You now look at the fish, you say, okay, I'm coming. Then you go. You don't go back to that woman to buy the fish. You lack integrity. You lack integrity. I am coming is I am coming. Just this break it down, let's break it down. Integrity. Your child, you want to go out, your child wants to go with you. You say, go and get your shoe. Then you go. You're teaching the child that you are not a person of integrity. You cannot be trusted. You are a liar. Oh, okay. The table is broken and I don't think there's any table again. Okay. Why do parents need to be emotionally intelligent? Okay, we're just talking this emotional intelligence, EQ, EI, whatever we want to use it. Why do parents particularly need to be emotionally intelligent? What's important about parents? And this coach Wendy, she'll just go and bring one concept now. It's just like concept. Hey. Relationship building is key for parenting. You need good relationship with your children. It's not every time you want to go and beat the teacher in school. You need good relationships with the school. All their friends, you need good relationship with them. My first son, his friends still talk to me like they're all in their 30s. So most of them are married. They have children. When they engage with me, they still talk to me like it was when they were in high school. Like, you need to know your children's friends. And it's not all the time that you're always attacking every single friend that they have. If you build their own value system, they will choose the right friends. Recognize their friends. Let their friends be able to come to the house now. Build strong relationships. When they get into trouble, they will call you. I can't tell you how many of my children's friends I have gone to their homes to intervene in matters because they told me and they couldn't tell their parents. In fact, a particular one, by the time I went the second time, as I sat down, his father and mother said, Mommy Okpe, this one that you have come today now, what is it that he has done? I said, is it that every time I go, can't I just come and visit you? They say, just tell us what your son has done. At this point, the child is my own son. It's not their child. You have to build relationships. Some of you don't even know the parents of your children's friends. If your child says this is their friend, on visiting day, if it's in boarding school, if it's in a day school, on PTA day, ask the child, where is the father of so and so? Men, go and shake hands. Hello, I'm this person's dad. Nice to meet you. This is what I do. This is my card. Re-engage with them so you know them, so that your child has a home. You understand their value system. Get to know them. Visit, go out. It's not all the time you're just eating fish with the boys, nothing to do with your children. When you want to eat fish, call a few of your friends and then add that father of your child friend. Let him join you. So you have a way of judging who he is. Mothers, the same thing. It's not all the time competing about who can dress well. Don't worry, wardrobe full. You can only wear one thing at a time. Get to know the parents of your children's friends so that you can build relationships with them. Build a relationship with your spouse. I know you are married. Some of us don't have relationships. Build relationships with your spouse. Have conversations, gist. Then build strong relationship with your friends. Some of us say, this person is my friend, this person is my friend. You don't make time for it. You never visit. You don't visit anybody. You just you inside your house, just you like that. You don't visit anybody. Nobody knows what is going on with you. You don't attend anybody's functions. Yes, I know there are many ways to attend a function. Try it. The next function you want to attend, buy 50,000 naira worth of bottled water, Nestle, and send it there in a pickup truck. You have attended. I'm telling you, you have attended. And then go and spend time watching a movie with your children while the water goes to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, you want to do more, buy 100,000 naira, buy 50,000 water, 50,000 naira drinks, and send it there. And then go and watch a movie with your child. Then you need it to build stability in your life. A key factor for having balanced children is having a stable home, having stable family and a stable home. Having a stable family and a stable home. It is key if you want to have balanced children. You cannot have balanced children if there is no stability in your life, and you cannot have stability in your life if you are not emotionally intelligent. You will keep going off the different ends. It's either you are aloof, you're just walking around the house. Hey, daddy, so help me. You're walking around the house. Nobody can come there. Everybody, your voice is just very deep like that. Nobody can talk to you. Mommies. This person's sister's brother's wife has given birth. I'm going to hospital. Then the person's sister too. They said they chased them out of the house. I'm going to go and carry them. You are never home. Your daughter doesn't have a model to follow. You need to build stability in your life. You build it by emotional intelligence. It will help you to midwife your goals. Emotional intelligence helps you to midwife your goals. You know what a midwife does? Help to birth your goals. Without emotional intelligence, you won't birth your goals. The goals are you have vision board. It's like a full wall in your house. But last year you didn't achieve the goals. This year too. It's February, ma. It's February, sir. Have you gone 1/6 of the? Because this is we're about to finish 1/6 of the year. Have you gone 1/6 of your goals yet? Have you ticked off any? You need emotional intelligence to midwife the goals. Then you need emotional intelligence to be able to turn your intentions into actions. I was sharing with you this morning how my intention was to go for my walk. My action was to sit on the bed and complaining about how there's no light, AC was not on, everywhere was hot, and I'm so irritated. Emotional intelligence is how I got up and had the walk, and why I'm bright and chirpy now because I went for my walk this morning. If you want to be able to turn your intentions, your goals into actions, you need emotional intelligence, because sometimes somebody will say something to you, and if you're not emotionally intelligent, they will derail you for the day. Has it happened to you before? You were having a nice day until somebody said something, just one sentence, and then your entire day was derailed. You are now wondering, which kind of wahala be this now? You need to have emotional intelligence to properly respond, and this is the most important one for me, to the various phases of your children's development without putting pressure on them. Stop putting pressure on your children for the things that they're going through. I don't know how many parents talk to me about bedwetting. They come and say, the child is 12, he's still wetting his bed. I'm like, yeah, that just means that the brain has not yet connected with the bladder. The sphincter is still running loose. The brain will connect. And then, you have turned it into a problem for you. You are ashamed. You need emotional intelligence to properly respond to the various phases of your children's development. Do you even know the phases of your children's development? Instead of going and reading books, you are busy attending every party in town. There's nothing wrong with parties. I like parties. If you see me in a party, don't say anything. But I'm just saying, you need to have emotional intelligence so that you can respond, not react. You respond to the different phases. You understand. My child is reaching puberty. What kind of conversations do we need to have? What are the conversations we need to have? I was just watching on Instagram. It was yesterday night. A little girl went to her father's bedside door and brought out a pack of, one pack of condom. I was asking her mom questions about it. The mom kept saying, "Oh, this is a difficult conversation to have. Oh, this is an uncomfortable conversation." She's like, "Can I help it?" It's like, no. You can't open it. See, to respond, she was responding to the phase that that girl was in. It's not that the girl picked the girl picked the condom and she said, drop that thing, hey, drop it. Oh, so that when the girl is now a teenager, the day somebody brings out a condom, she can't even bring out condom because when she was young, you traumatized her with just the sight of a condom. You just tell, hey, drop it. Hey, no conversation. No conversation. So you are not properly responding to the phase of your child development. And then you need to make informed decisions not driven by your emotions. Emotions are just hormones, bathing your brain in whichever way they seem fit, driven by instinct, driven by so many things. You can change it. You can modify it. You can increase your dopamine, increase your serotonin, you can increase your endorphins, you can intentionally change your emotional outcome because you can change the way that hormones are being distributed in your brain. So you can change things. Start. So now I've talked about changing things. I've talked about so much about changing things and emotional intelligence. And, there's so much, so much about emotional intelligence. What are the practical exercises? I'm sure that people are asking, can I do this? It's going to take time. Okay. So let's start. There are two things I want to leave you with today. Only two. One is self-reflection. Yes, that one was a mistake in spelling. This all happens when you're a professor's daughter. You're gonna be checking spelling, all these kind of things. Sorry. But I need to understand the reason why. You see, I told you the reason why. I grew up in the academic environment. I'm critical about my language, about diction, about grammar, about spelling, about Don't put yourself under pressure if you didn't grow up in my own. Don't acquire the pressure for yourself. You don't need it. So self-reflection. The first thing I want to say is that you need to behold yourself in the mirror daily. When I talk about behold yourself in the mirror, I am talking about it figuratively, but I'm also talking about it for real. Do you know that there are some of us here who cannot talk to ourselves in the mirror? It's you? You cannot have a conversation with yourself because there's so much of a lie on this side that the person in the mirror, when he's looking back at you, you are feeling that the person is judging you. You can't look at yourself in the mirror. So that is the real. So let's talk about it figuratively. I'm talking about introspection. You need to put yourself under a light every day and ask yourself, why did I do this? What was my goal? What was my intention? What was I trying to achieve? Did I achieve it? Am I good to go? This is a conversation you have to have with yourself every day. Affirm yourself every day. Have a conversation. Change every day. My oldest, many years ago, one day we were traveling somewhere. I can't remember where we were going. I was the one driving. Everybody else was in car. And then he and his dad were talking about the fact that I don't even bother competing with other people. Me, I compete with myself. I had such a good laugh. But it was the first time that somebody was able to articulate something that I hadn't understood all of my life. Every day, I want to be better than yesterday, the day before. Every year, I want to be better than the day before. I believe that a human being must continue to develop and grow consistently to reach up to mature up to the stature of whatever it is that is their goal. My goal is Christ. I'm a Christian. Whatever it is that is your goal, you must work consistently towards that goal. So question your motives. Why? Always ask yourself, why now? What is it that has made me feel this way? Why do I want to do this? Many times, even within marriage, your motive is vengeance. If he does this, I will do this. If she says this, I will respond like this. We say such horrible things to ourselves, and I'm talking to ourselves, like to ourselves when we're thinking, that we become those horrible people. You need to question your motives. You need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this now? Can this move? Why am I doing this as a parent? Is it really about me? Question your motives. Journal your decisions. Today, I needed to decide this. I considered 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I decided this. When you want to take a similar decision, come back and say, met this conversation before. What did I do on that day? What did I do at that time? Work around it. So journal your decisions. Plan your day. Stop being abstract about your day. Today I have 3 meetings. All 3 meetings, I've already prepared my talking points. I know exactly what I'm going to do. This is the first one. I know exactly. I knew this as at yesterday. I was ready. So just plan your day now. Don't let anybody just call you and say, hey, guess what is happening? They're selling fuel at 200 naira. Bah, you just enter your car and save money and drive there and forget what you were dropping. Then suddenly you're on the queue. Then you think that your phone has been ringing. You find it's your children's teacher, and you missed going to pick them up because somebody made a call, and that call scattered your day. Use your phone. Most of us have smartphones. We don't even scratch the surface of what they can do. Do you know? I someday, I decided I'm going to start using the journal on my phone. It has been so beautiful. So now I use AI to journal, and it's so awesome. Editing the transcription is another adventure. These are real things. Plan your day. Hey, forgive yourself quickly. Oh, my brother, my sister, we are not yet there. We would like to be perfect. We are not yet there. So every day we will offend ourselves. We will do something and do it, overdo it. We will shout at our children and realize, why did I do that? Forgive yourself. Tell yourself, are you tired? I understand what you were going through. I get it. But this was not good enough. But I get it. I forgive you. I know that tomorrow you will do better. Forgive yourself quickly. Do not allow the devil to drag you into regret and shame and guilt. And, it's like a bottomless pit. Oh, you see, yesterday, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, I took a decision. Okay, move on now. 10 years ago, you were not as smart as you are today. When you were not in the inner circle, you were not as smart as you are today. The parenting you did before you got into the inner circle of TIP is not the same parenting you're doing today. So forgive yourself quickly. Forgive others even more speedily. Understand that they're coming from a different background, they've been through a different life, they are perceiving things differently from you. And as a very dear big brother of mine says, they didn't wake up in the morning and say, I want to offend Eitayo. They didn't. Things happened. You had a conversation. They said their mind. You got offended. Own it. So forgive them speedily. Let them go. And don't think that if you're just angry with them enough, God will answer your prayer for his vengeance. He said vengeance is his own. It is a vengeance is mine driven by you. Vengeance is mine. If there's anything that needs to be avenged, the Lord will do it in his own time, in his own way. You don't need to pray about it. You don't need to call their name. You don't need to punish them with your words. You don't need it. So forgive others even more speedily, and then be mindful of your parenting. I cannot emphasize this enough. Be mindful of your parenting. Do not allow yourself to parent abstractly. I'm just a parent. It's just a thing that I do. I'm just a no. Let your parenting have a plan. Today is Valentine's Day. I sent a message, a very early morning message to my nearly 20-year-old son. We had a conversation. He replied me, I replied him, he replied me. We have had a conversation. Valentine's Day. Do you know how many pregnancies occur on Valentine's Day for young people? Full of my parenting. I may not be celebrating Valentine's Day. I don't know anything that they do for that. But responsibility of parenting And so I will have conversations about Valentine's Day with my young children. So take your parenting seriously. Take your parenting seriously. So I was going to say we'll do the disc, but I will send the link to Coach Wendy. I want to talk about the disc. So this assessment is a very good assessment for seeing, for looking at the totality. And I don't know if they already do it in a circle. It's a good assessment for looking at the totality of your perception. DISC comes from dominance, influence, steadiness. So dominance, these questions describe the way you deal with problems, the way you hurt yourself, and the way you control situations. The influence part describes the way you deal with people, the way you communicate, and the way you relate to others. Steadiness part describes your temperament, patience, your persistence, and your thoughtfulness. Compliance describes how you act and organize your activity, procedures, and all. Does it sound familiar? Did I describe your emotional intelligence by the DISC? So there are 4 dimensions that are measured in the DISC model. And I'm going to encourage everybody to do the DISC assessment today. It will take you about 10 to 15 minutes. Do the DISC assessment today. I will send the link out, and then you do the assessment, and hopefully it will give you a picture. What's the place to start? The place to start is to do an assessment and even tell yourself the truth. Don't try to overthink it. So the trick about psych assessment is don't overthink it, because when you overthink it, then the brain will correct your perception a little, because the brain's job is to make you feel good with yourself. That's the good brain is the ego. Like, I'm feeling good with myself. That's the ego, right? So you don't want to overthink it. When you read the question, answer it as best you can, and then move on to the next question. Don't come back. But I'll share the link so that you can do the DISC. The DISC is a beautiful, beautiful way for you to self-reflect. Okay, so let me say something again about assessments. As you change, as you transform, you should assess yourself regularly. Your conversations with yourself regularly. You should measure regularly. You do the DISC assessment today. Do the DISC assessment in another 6 months. After on applying emotional intelligence, do it again. Answer honestly. The goal is to be as truthful, as honest as possible. And if you are able to do that, then you'll find that over time, you can actually see your transition. And once you see that you are transitioning, it's motivation. You will transition more. Your children will come and tell you, oh, mom, I just want to hug you. Then you know that you're an emotionally intelligent parent. No reason, they just want to hug you. Please stand and hug them. Yes, even if you're dirty and you've been cooking, don't say, oh, I'm so dirty right now. Oh, wait, hug. She needs a hug. She needs a hug. Okay, it wasn't in this class. It was in another class I was teaching about the needs, the emotional needs of the girl child. She needs a hug. He needs a hug. I hear people say all the time, oh, my sons, you know how they say to themselves, you know how sons are. Sons don't like to hug. I look at them, I'm like, okay, I have 3. They are huggers. Huggers, like, they hug everybody. You need to see them hugging Wendy. Hug, bear hugs. We hug in our house. We hug. We show compassion. We love deeply in our house. You make mistakes, we love you still. We love you to death and beyond. We love. So please hug. Please allow yourself to grow. And please don't say that boys, you shouldn't be hugging. Boys should become, men need hugs. Have you tried it with your husband? Just hug him for no reason. You will see how he will melt into that hug. Don't say, men, it's what we've been telling ourselves. It's trauma. Who doesn't love a good hug? Thank you. Ebuka, Boys Leadership Academy. We are huggers too. They hug. Please, let them hug you. Let your children hug you. You hug your spouse. Maybe after this session, if you're together, you should just turn around and just give each other a nice hug. I don't know about where that's going to end, but hug. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about mindfulness. Now, when people think about mindfulness, yes, you should put it in your family values. Hugging is a family value. When people think about mindfulness, they always think about yoga and, sitting down and, meditation. But that's not what mindfulness means. Now, every time I teach about mindfulness, this is my favorite slide, and I use this picture all the time. I don't even know, it's anonymous. I found it online many years ago, and I keep using it. There are two ways to be. It's either you are mindful, yes, you just sit down, the money for the rent, the car, and the mechanics, and the lunch. What's for lunch? What's for lunch? In fact, what's for dinner? The school fees for the children. And when I lie down, and homework. Have they finished homework? Your mind is full of so many things that you cannot be mindful. You can't be mindful because you are mindful of all kinds of things. Do those things exist? Yes. Does thinking about them really change them? No. If you articulate them on paper, can you better provide solutions? Yes. Can you better plan? Yes. Yes, you can hug yourself if you are single. And go and hug a friend. and if you can articulate them on paper, then drop them. So what is true mindfulness? True mindfulness is the complete awareness of who you are, where you are, what you are doing, what is around you, what you plan to do. I'll take it again. Who you are, where you are, what you are doing, what you plan to do, what is around you. It is a totality. You're taking it in. You live like that every day. Enjoy your life. Not in the start, enjoy your life. You do that too, but enjoy your life in calmness. Love your calmness. It is not every time that you should be fighting something or struggling about something. It doesn't matter whether you have money in your account, you don't have money in your account. It's not dependent on you're married, you're single. It's not dependent on your marriage, you've not had kids yet. It's not dependent on anything on the outside. You see, mindful is dependent on all those things on the outside. Everything that is not going right and all the chaos and everything. But when you are mindful, when you're truly, truly mindful, you are looking. So you see this image. He is so, or it, I don't know if it's a he or she, is so mindful that he can see the sun, can see the trees. And the man is mindful. And see, we need for this office, cars, parents, this one, so many things going on. That's what the man is thinking about. The dog is just being mindful. So deep breathing is a way of, sorry, I'm just going to switch. Sorry, that was Siri. Deep breathing is a way to start being mindful. Every time you catch yourself getting agitated, tell yourself calm. When you start to breathe deeply from the diaphragm, you increase the good hormones in your body and you reduce the bad hormones. It's like magic. Your heart rate will reduce. You will be calm. Then you will be able to deal with the issues that are on your mind, that are making your mind to be full. So when we talk about meditation, we're not talking about that type, the Eastern type of meditation. We're talking about conscious focus. Many of us, for example, have been fasting or are fasting, fasting January. We spend the entire day not studying, not praying, not doing anything, but we are fasting. We are fasting. That's the mindless way of fasting. You're not actually mindful of your fast. And if somebody says the wrong thing, you will give them woto. You're not mindful of who you are, where you are, what you're doing, where you're going to, how you plan to get there, and everything else, what's around you. You're not conscious. When you are also mindful, you will be mindful of every child's emotions. You will, when you're talking to them, you will be able to talk to the particular child you are having a conversation with. I have 5 children, 3 biological, 2 grown women children. Every one of them, including the 2 that are much older, every one of them has a different kind of conversation with me. So my daughter Bimbo will just come into the room, take my pillow, lie on the bed, then I know she wants to have a conversation. She won't say anything. So I just hold her. Then after some time, she say, Mama, then she'll start the conversation. The other day, okay, let me shut up before I start sharing for people that are here. But be mindful of your relationship with your children. Every child is different. Be mindful of your relationship with your children. Be mindful. Even now, as I have reduced my voice, some of you already became agitated. What? I can't hear. I can't hear. Oh, what did she say? Be mindful. Be mindful that I have said what I have to say, and I'm excited that you're becoming emotionally intelligent parents from this week going forward. We will stop all that agitation and we'll calm down. Coach Wendy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are mindful of the
Yes.
calm that you brought at the final stage of the conversation. Anytime that people talk to me, they actually go like, oh, I'm a very quiet person, so I don't need emotional intelligence. I said there are many quiet people who are chaotic.
Active
Absolutely.
aggressive.
Their mind is chaotic. So it's about the mind. It's not just about the noise. There's this thing that you build, right? You can be very calm in chaos. Ask me about it. I have people that I know that yes, there's chaos is there, but the mind is relaxed. The mind is not. The mind is not agitated. The mind is not everywhere. I love the mindfulness part, and thank you again, Coach Yetayo. She said, yeah, helps you to midwife your goals. You've heard me say severally that you don't fall to the level of whatever it is, the goals that you have built. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of the systems that you have built. Everything that have been said here have been systems. If you do not have systems in you, you are actually going to just be lost. The other day, I heard the governor teaching about marriage, and he was talking about marriage mentorship. And we're trying to actually talk about how we got here and how our marriage became what it is today. And we remember marriage mentorship. We had, it wasn't necessarily about, when you tell people this person needs to be a mentor, you say, no, I need to get in contact. No, you just need to attend the person's classes, so to say. Like Coach Anita was talking about attending classes that the Bukwarish has done, and she has only met her once. I have people that I've mentored that I've never met before. Never. But we have been we built a relationship. Some of them we even built a relationship that is even deeper than just me mentor. It looks as if I know them, but I've never met them physically. Coach Omolola is here. I have never met her, but we talk like we are family right now. So it's something that we need to work. I also saw a lot of people in the comment section saying, I need a friend. I want a friend. Build yourself. I love the analysis of circumstantial friendship that we all have, because we found ourselves in certain environments. We all went to school together, all right? And you just say, this person has to be my friend. But have you really sat down to reevaluate that friendship in real times? And the governor is here. Thank you, sir. Yes, he's a full course in the university. Of course, we know who is teaching. All right. So it is so important that we actually begin to look at those things and begin to do things differently. So you want a friend, the first thing you want to do is look inward. Yeah. The friend you're looking for, are you that friend? That's the first thing. Become that person. And naturally, you will attract people that are valuable. And let me say this here for those of us, both men and women, fathers and mothers, if you don't have anybody you are accountable to, you
Oh
are
yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
I was sharing with a younger fellow, like a friend, family friend, and I was telling her, I said, "Who are you accountable to on this your journey in life?" She was looking at me. I said, "Where I am, I'm still accountable to people, several.
Mm.
People who will say today, it's not about money. It's not about, please get off from that high horse. The people who will say today, stop, and that's it. It doesn't matter what it is that I think or you think. If you don't like accountability, people now look at accountability as control. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all of us who are growing up, we were, I was trying to tell my sister-in-law to do something. And she said, hey, that is just reminding her of how they controlled her growing up. I smiled. It's because of the way it happened to us while we were growing up. There was so
Mm.
much felt, hey, I'm now free. Oh, I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. I just want to be on my own and all of that. If you lack accountability, you are a man, you're a woman, you don't have anybody you can answer to, there is a problem. You are headed for death. It's not you're actually headed for chaos, from chaos to death. Find the system that will hold you accountable. That's why a lot of the people, when they get into the academy, the inner circle, they have a problem with instructions. I was listening to that's Coach Itayo's son. He's a pilot. He's been flying now for more than 6 years. Yeah, about that 5 years or so. And I sat with
9
him.
years.
Yeah, and I sat
9 years.
that. Oh, interesting.
9.
9 years. I was recently. He was around. He came around. He was in my home, and we're pals. So with this thing, I was like, "Come and show me this plane, and come and show me what is inside this plane." And he said something to me. He said, "While you're flying this plane, these instructions are laid, and you must follow them, whether you know them or not." I'm like, "So what
Mm.
if you decide that you don't want to?" He said, at that altitude, until when there's nothing like that. It doesn't exist because you're going to crash. And it just struck me. And he said, because of the way we were taught instructions, we thought it was a bad thing. So because of that, we fight it. So you listen to this class now, you say, that's our own this thing. What's my own now? And then I'm going to go and do my own thing and all of that. It doesn't really, or you argue. It doesn't work that way. Her children are all grown. Her last child is, maybe she said her last child is 13 or 14, 15. My children are still toddlers. I can't practice this thing that she's saying. It's the same thing. Or you say to yourself, some people when you teach, they say, you don't have the experience. Your children are not as old. It's the same thing. Principles are principles. They apply at every level. They apply at every level. And if you are interested, I'm sure that being in this class means that you're interested in building your emotions or emotional capacity. Coach Elita said that emotional intelligence is key to self-fulfillment. Ask me about that. Until I got this lesson, I was not fulfilled. Newsflash, I was earning plenty money.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about making money. It was beyond that.
Mm.
So until you build on it, then you are not going to. You don't really. Most of us are just living. We're just existing. We're not really living life. This morning, I had a conversation with my husband, and I said to my husband that my mom didn't really bother about a lot of things. But now there's a flip side. The problem is that my mom didn't really live life to fulfillment.
Mm.
Even though it looked like, I beg, oh, don't disturb. My mom loved her comfort zone. I just want to do it. My comfort is just me. I'm listening. I hope my mom is not here. My comfort is not.
I will report to you, Sha.
My comfort is key and all of that. My mom's life wasn't. I look at her. She has a lot of potentials that were not tapped. So it is beyond just living. Most of our parents just lived, just existed. They didn't really live. This is what makes you live. Classes like this, I'm really excited about this class. I can see that there are no questions. I was trying to, put all of this conversation together so I can see if there are questions in the comment section. Oh, the only question I saw was, how do I become my friend? Hey, where are you? That's not how to make friends now, guys. You will hit rock. And then when you not finish, you say, no, people, I cannot trust people. People are very wicked. They dealt with me. I say everybody that is in a relationship where you say, oh, they didn't trust me. They dealt with me. You are the problem, not the person. I keep saying it.
Yeah.
You are the problem. You see that something doesn't align with your own value. Why have you not walked away? Why are you still there? Are you a tree? The biggest advice my father told me in my life is that you're not a tree. When something doesn't work, walk away. You're not a tree. Are you stuck there? You are in a circle. You can see that in that circle you're not yourself, but you just want to remain there because they said in one class that you need friends. Come on now. And you are going to attract what you build. That's the truth. Think about it. Who you are is what you attract. At the beginning of this class, Shelita said your becoming is a is continuum. It's not it's continuum. You continue to become. Becoming doesn't stop. Becoming doesn't. Mr. David Salome said she has a question from yesterday's session. Please go ahead and ask so we can round up the session and please go. I was able to really look inwards and why things we do and so amazing. Somebody said, "Mommy, come and hear." Who is that? Are you that wicked? Intelligent who you midwife your goal. All right, I love it. I really love that. What if you discover that you are in a marital relationship with someone that is not your friend, and as much as you want to befriend the person doesn't? Over to you, man.
You reveal that friendship. Oh, so the first question is, what do they like to do? So if your friendship is built on control, the way I want to befriend you is the way you must agree to be befriended. Most of the time, that's what people like to say. So I am a Itayo now. My friends must be able to talk because I like to talk. That means that I've not yet decided to befriend the person. The first thing is, what does the person like? Do you know that you can be friends with someone and all you do is sit together and watch a movie? You're sitting together, but that sitting together to watch something is creating a union. Does he watch football? Does she or she like to go swimming? What do they want to do? Because when I want to befriend somebody, I have to meet the person in their own space. I don't expect them to come and meet me in my own space. So if I stay in my comfort zone, most likely I'm not yet ready to truly befriend the person. When I'm ready to befriend the person, then I would ask myself, what do they like? So, for example, some people think that gifts on Valentine's Day is a big deal. I have never thought so. So, anybody that thinks that befriending me means buying me gifts on Valentine's Day, it's not going to hit the chord that the person intends. However, if somebody wants to befriend me, and I'm not even talking of friends, I'm talking general friendship. If somebody wants to befriend me and they say, "Oh, I just want to spend time with you. Can we read a book together and come and discuss it? Can we have an intellectual conversation about?" But yeah, hey, you're speaking my language, because then I'm learning from you. You're learning from me. We're rubbing minds. So the question is, how does this person want to be befriended? Then you need to now, because you are the one who has decided that you need to be friends. So you need to walk to the other person's side and have that friendship. Do you know that the idea, and let me just drop this here, that thing that women do of waking men in the middle of the night to have conversations after he has slept, after a hard day, is actually mean. It's mean, it's wicked. It has nothing to do with being friends with somebody. You were watching, the person came back home, the person went to sleep. Now you can't sleep because of the turmoil in your mind, because of your own thinking and the way that you are computing things. The poor innocent man has gone to sleep. You now decide at 3 a.m. in the middle of sweet sleep, darling, I want to talk. You're a witch, eh? Don't be waiting for people to talk in the middle of the night, please. But this is what a lot of, I work with many women. Women think that forcing him into a mold is being friends with him. That's not necessarily being friends with him. On the other hand, men think that if she does not do it the way that I want, that means she's not ready to be my friend. Marriage is about coming together. It's about giving up and gaining, giving up and gaining. Sometimes what you thought you liked, you find out that because your spouse likes something, you now find out that you liked it. You had never tried it. Now you find out you like it. So becoming friends with someone it's not a by force something. It's a, it's a gradual. Use emotional intelligence, but definitely speak, watch them, watch how they are with their friends, watch the kind of way that they are friends with people so that you can align with that. And it's important that you're friends. I can't
Awesome.
imagine that you're friends with a spouse. That's, I don't know, is there a marriage?
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So you mean bottom line. When don't go out to tell people I want you to be my friend. Sometimes when people say those things, I'm like, are you joking? Like, like, are you joking? You don't know what to do. I want you to be my friend. What does that even mean? You get your way in. So it's the same thing. You look at what I like that part. Somebody said, "Child, coach, shots fired." There are a lot of conversations I see in the questions I see in the comment section. If we sit down here asking what is family value, how do you activate personality, how did they, please get into the inner circle. This is not a family value class. We're not going to be teaching you how to create family value in that class. Sorry, but that's not what this class is about because we're going to sleep here if we do that. All right. So we have a guide called the Family Value Guide. Buy it. All right. Sit down with your family and create the family value. And then get yourself into an academy. This is 5 days. Oh. On Friday, we'll be done.
Yeah.
You shall not hear these things. And you need actually that, system. All right. And that is very, very important. Um, please help us with Vera. Build sister Vera, you are in the conclave. This question, go back to your conclave notes. Instead, it has been treated. All right, let me stop there. Somebody asked a question that I would like you to take at the last question so that we can just go. He said something about personality and persona. I think I saw it. It was a question from yesterday. He was trying to how do I know the right thing to plan in my parenting journey? Mercy, join the inner circle. This is not a planning class, it's an emotional intelligence class. Okay, it's Salome. Salome says, how do I recognize that it's persona, not personality that is presenting? How do I go about correcting it?
Okay, the first sign that there's imbalance is that there's always confusion. Every time you want to do something, there's always conflict in your mind. It's like there are two people. You know what is right, but there's another voice that you hear, not a voice, but so psychologists don't like dealing with these things in depth in classes like this because I'll now touch on something and then it will seem to I'm not these are not rules. So, but a good way to recognize that there is a persona is that you're not like that all the time. You become like that in certain situations. So it's a persona. It's not a personality. So my personality is generally jovial, like happy. That's my personality. I think my parents named me correctly, Eitayo. I'm just a very joyful person. So it is weird when I have long bouts of sadness. I never do. I don't. So when I'm angry for too long, I always see that as it's a persona. You're just trying to be hard on this person so this person will know because that's not me. So I know that persona of tough, I do it to deal with certain situations, the persona. So you know that it's a persona when you wear it like a dress and you can take it off when you are done. You also know that there is persona and pseudo personality when there's conflict always. You see, coach, I actually want to do it, but I'm not sure again. Then I started again, then I stopped again. So when you have confusion and conflict, that's another way. And how do I go about correcting it? It's work. You have to go through therapy. You have to find the roots of where the persona was built from. Is it trauma? Is it from modeling? Is it from error? Whatever built it has to now be crumbled, and then you now need to rebuild the real personality, the actual person. But that's what therapy does. It goes into the past to find the root of why the present is the way that it is. I hope that helps.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. And we're going to stop here with the question. Somebody talked about change. How do I change? I find it difficult to change. Just one day at a time. Today in this class, you have changed. That's it. Don't make it look. There was something coach said. She said, "Don't make it look so. It's not. Don't hold on to like, hey, there's one thing that you need to do that's present. One day at a time. If you are able to become mindful today, you have changed."
Wendy, there's one question that I would like to attend to. This question. It says, in a case where your in-laws don't call you, but you're always the one calling, and even on your birthday, they won't even call. What should one do? First of all, if I was your in-law, I would be in that boat because I don't call people. So they are not necessarily not calling you. They're just not calling people. One, or they have not thought that you are in a seat that is valuable to be called, but it has nothing to do with you. It's not something that you should now own. And so they are not calling me. Somebody's not calling you, it's not your problem. Don't you have enough people to call you? And if you choose to be calling them, then it is your choice that you have decided that for you, calling is important. I'm telling you, and this is honest for those who know me here. If you are my friend and you're going to use calling as a measure of our friendship, then our friendship would have broken 10,000 years ago. I am not a calling person. I think I mentioned it yesterday. I'm not a calling person. But having said that, those who are calling people, who enjoy reaching out, some of you, you actually have the gift of helps. You have the gift of support. You are able to come and check on people. You find out that you are checking on people even when you don't know what is going on with them. It's actually, don't let other people change you. So you now want to transform. No. And if you want to be called on your birthday, actually pray about it. I don't know, it doesn't matter what religion you are. Pray that, Lord, I want to feel love on this my birthday. You will have enough calls that your in-laws, a particular group of people, don't call you. And I'm sure it's not all the in-laws who don't call you. Those in-laws who don't call, please send them love all the time. Don't let your motivation be extrinsic. Let your motivation always be intrinsic. My motivation for calling my in-laws is that I have judged that it is good to call people, and I'm not expecting a call back. I am not expecting a reward from them because I am doing it by choice. Emotional intelligence. I chose to do it. So I think that helps.
I think that really helps. And one of the things, this conversation cannot end here. And I'm sure that in the academy we do things on friendship, we do things on managing relationships, you do things on. See, I keep saying, if you're having a fight with your in-laws, you're not wise. Quote me anywhere. You're not wise. It's a lack of wisdom, really, because there's just something it's just a. I have in-laws. Come on, do you think I do not have? I do not. There are things I don't like about whoever and wherever. All right. Newsflash: Coach Itayo is my sister-in-law, and I'm sure some of you do not know. So yes, I have only one sister-in-law. Here she is. So, and I need her to do this class, and I need her because she needs to do the class, and it transcends every other thing that I'm supposed. It's this
Yes,
course.
power.
I need transformation first before any other thing that we're talking about. It's also emotional intelligence to be able to manage those relationships. So if you're having those issues, and I'll just work on yourself. Leave every other person. Leave every other person. You are the problem. You are the problem. It's not any other person. Is not your interpretation of what people think. They didn't call me. They didn't call me. Is you. Deal with it. Yeah. Deal with that problem. I will probably maybe call my father-in-law once in a year or something, or twice, but we chat a lot. Always we're constantly chatting. Like we chat and all of that. I called him yesterday. He missed my call. It's not a big deal. He called me back. I've missed the call. It's not a big deal. Nobody's going to.
You call him more than I call him.
Yeah, exactly. And I call him more than she called him. So it's not a problem. Let's not make it. Let's not make it. Let's not make it. It's you. That's why I said deal with you. Forget every other person. It will be easier. Nobody died. There's nothing. Don't agitate yourself for nothing. There are a lot of questions. Personal relationship. This one. If you're having issues with your spouse,
you have to walk through.
Work on it. Yeah. Chat the Married Till Academy. My husband is a marriage counselor. He would help you, right? Please chat the Married Till Academy and reach out to them for these issues. We are not here for marriage either. It's emotional intelligence. Please let us see everybody saying that is the resemblance of iron on your face.
They are doing the twins. Sorry. We have already.
I see on her face. For shame. Sorry. When I get into the yard, I will take all of you. Thank you so much again, Coach. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you, and I'm sure every single one had a lot of fun listening to Coach Tayo this morning. It was so relatable. It was so, crystal clear. You don't need, it's not words that you can understand. They are words that you can actually tangibly, get. But let me say this. Please get books, start reading. This course is not enough for you to become. I will say that again and again. It's not enough for you to become. It's just one out of the many things that you need to learn. And there's so much of that you need to learn. All right. There's too much to learn. When we say, oh, get mentorship, we know what we're talking about. Or when we say, oh, do this, we know what we're talking about. But there's so much. Now, there are a lot of people asking, how do I control tantrum? How do I? No, it is you. Focus, leave your children alone. Throw the searchlight back at you. I used to actually think that my children used to make me yell, but that's a lie from the pit of hell. I choose to yell anytime that I yell. I got upset in a hotel recently, about my room. And I went outside and I said, I need you guys to now, come and do. I was upset. And the man said, oh, we're sorry for making you angry. I said, no, you didn't make me angry. I chose. It's a choice. How I'm reacting is my choice. You must come to that place where you choose emotional responsibility. You must choose emotional responsibility. Get the books, start to read. Book slots to enter the academy. It is no longer a conversation of whether I want or I will. If you have not booked to enter the inner circle, this is the time. And stay on your journey. Continue to read, continue to do a lot of things. Tomorrow, Isaac Onoja is going to come here to talk about the brain of the teenager. You want to be here. You're also going to be, your mind will be open to a lot of things again, and you're going to be thinking, oh, wow, what else is happening to me again? And then it's, you need a lot of learning. There's too much to learn. There's too much. Sometimes I even feel, we've done almost 2 hours. It's as if we haven't scratched the surface. Sometimes I feel that we need more time. But of course, we cannot teach it as we go. If we do, we also overwhelm you. We can't even stay here. If we need to keep teaching, we're going to be on a stream live, all day. All right. Thank you so much for, joining us. If you're going to be asking about the questions on how to book for Inner Circle, the team is going to send it in the group so that you can make your bookings and, wait in the academy. While you're at it, get books. I have several books that you can read. But somebody is asking about tantrums, go and get the discipline that works. Go and get their discipline is not an emergency. Go and get raising independent thinking child. Go and get raising emotionally skilled child. You do not have an excuse anymore to fail. And no, not everything. You're not going to just learn everything all at once. You're going to pace yourself. You're going to continue to learn, and you're going to continue to grow. Becoming is a continuum. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Yeah. I am excited because this whole emotional intelligence course has been on another level, especially for me. I don't know about it, but I'm here. And also, remember that one of the things that Coach said was that you need to begin to be an influencer. An influencer will be shouting, get your friends, get your family, get them to learn what you're learning. That's part of the influence. But hey, you need to actually begin to live your life at that level where you influence people using your influence. That's part of living life to fulfillment. Thank you so much, and do have an amazing day. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m.